Once your tower climber has climbed the tower and gotten your rope in position depending on which lift you're on, it's your job as the belayer to correctly set up the belay and get ready to lower the guests off the lift. Your first step is going to be making sure that you're ready to belay. You're going to do that by making sure that your harness is oriented correctly and that all of your buckles are doubled back so that this danger word is not visible. Now we're going to set up for our belay. We're going to use our Grigri device to set up on the brake strand of the rope that's not attached to the T-seat. We're going to do this by looking at the orientation of the Grigri. You'll notice there's a climber side and a brake strand side. Open the Grigri, place the climbing side into the Grigri over the brake hand side, close the lid, and put your carabiner in. Then you attach your carabiner to your belay loop of your belay harness. These Grigri devices can be loaded backward, so to prevent that from happening, we're going to perform what we call a partner check. Once you've loaded your Grigri, you're going to take the belay strand of the rope, the one that goes up to the tower and back down to the seat, and pull on it in front of your partner to assure that it locks and the rope does not slide through the device. If the Grigri is loaded the incorrect way and you pull on the belay strand, the rope will slide through the device, not providing any braking whatsoever. Once you've ensured that your Grigri is loaded correctly, we're going to start raising the rescue seat up to our guest. To do this, we're going to use a belay technique called P-bus. P-bus stands for pull, brake, under, and slide. The first thing we're going to do is, while always keeping a hand on the brake strand, we're going to pull down on the belay strand to give slack through the device. Once we have slack in the device, we're going to move our other hand below our braking hand and slide our braking hand up the brake strand of the rope. We'll repeat this process as we raise the seat up to the guest in the chair. Once you've raised the rescue seat up to the guest and instructed the guest on how to get into the rescue seat and you're ready to lower that guest, you're always going to keep at least one hand on the brake strand at all times. To lower the guest using the Grigri, you're going to use the black lever and slowly pull back while keeping firm pressure with your brake hand. The rope is going to start moving through the belay device and lowering the guest. If you pull too far too quickly, this device has an anti-panic feature. It'll make a clicking sound and you will not be able to lower that guest anymore. This is what that looks like. To reset this, simply release the black lever and begin to pull back on it again, lowering the guest safely to the ground. One thing to always ensure while you're lowering a guest is making sure that your rope is going over this lip of the device. If your rope goes over this way, you're not going to have as much friction to be able to control the speed of that guest. So ensure that that rope goes over the side lip of the Grigri. A couple things to wrap up. First thing, we always want to make sure that our Grigri is loaded correctly by utilizing that partner check. Whenever we're raising the seat, remember that we're always on belay, utilizing that P-bus method of belaying. When lowering your guest, always be communicating with them about when you're lowering and how fast or slow they may need to go. Always be ready to assist your guests as they re-enter the snow. Have your tower climber come down and help that guest get oriented on the ground. After all that's done, remember to make sure and pack up all of your gear in a way that makes it accessible for future use.